Trump announces new European tariffs in Greenland standoff. So what is this about? Are they beginning to hate the whore? It says the president escalated his drive to take charge of the Danish territory, which is Greenland, targeting Denmark and 7 other European countries, so a total of 8, with a 10% tariff, increasing to 25% tariff in, I want to say, when is it? It will increase in June 1st. So who are these countries? It says Greenland, which is a territory of Denmark, will be hit with a 10% tariff on all goods sent to the United States beginning February 1st. And Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, Britain, the Netherlands, and Finland will be joining. Denmark, there go your 8, will be receiving these tariffs.
Okay, let me drop down what this is. And of course, you know, it's Amalek, the synagogue of Satan, that's truly running the White House, okay? What is this? This is the all to end all for the United States. It's the beginning of it. What do I mean? Understand the 10% tariffs, putting a tax on all the NATO countries that's in alliance with the Western world, including America. Right? Mm-hmm. Threatening them that what? If you don't give me Greenland, then we'll put a 10% tariff off of all your goods that you sell, because it's the American consumerism that drives all of these countries. When you look at some of the niche brands out there, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all these different things that are made, they're made on the outside of the country, but predominantly are sold and promoted here as high-end goods. America is the consumer, so everything that comes in is a 10% tax. Without America, because America is not just the company that consume it, we're the place that market and makes everything cool the world buys. So with this threat, it threatens the NATO agreement that kept peace in the West. Mm-hmm. And at that point, if he tried to, and understand this, now that's one level, that's the economic level. Now let's deal with the strategic military level real quick. There was a lease that America got in Greenland to have a part of it as sovereign area because it's strategic. When it comes to enemy threats, you have to go through those waters and all that to launch onto New York, right? So if the enemy get in those areas, they can launch missiles into New York. So they leased, NATO said, well, listen, to keep the peace, we'll all have this buffer or Mason-Dixon line, if you will. Well, this is the buffer area between the enemy and America, where we respect each other's space here without crossing the Rubicon. So what they did, they say, America, we know this is a threat to you. We'll lease you 10% of Greenland. Therefore, you can check when somebody's overcrossing that can threaten America. See? But now that he's putting these tariffs out there, NATO have sent their troops into Greenland now. Mm-hmm. Now, what happens? If he tried to invade Greenland, that breaks all treaties with who? With the European Union, with NATO. And now what they'll do is they'll isolate their economy, bar America out of it, the economy altogether, and make America an island by itself to survive by itself. We don't care about paying you 10% because all the goods are made on the outside of the United States anyway. Go down without us contributing anything going forward to you. Right? That's how it goes down. That's how it says, make her naked, strip her of her power, and then burn her with fire. So what we're seeing here is Trump pulling the pin out of the grenade and throwing it. Mm-hmm. If troops go there, that breaks all agreements. They'll set up their own economic system and Wall Street will be done. There will be no Wall Street. Everything tanks. The dollar tanks. Everything go down, and America is a world within itself without Western backing. Okay? So I'm going to tell you. Now, right now it could be a little saber rattling. But what I'm looking at is the fact that they sent troops. The NATO agreement was to keep peace amongst the West. Where if you wage war on any of the alliances within NATO, you wage war on all of them. And it was including the United States.
Right.
So this is the United States practically moving themselves out of NATO and becoming an independent force and body by itself.
Yep. It's America saying we don't trust NATO anymore. We feel you're going to backstab us.
Yeah. So they're saying, well, listen, because what they're doing here, a 10% tax, you put sanctions on Iran, not on your allies.
Right.
Okay.
With friends like these, who needs enemies?
Yeah.
You know?
So NATO sent their troops there, and by so there will be a level of calm, unless this guy want to go in. Don't forget, Greenland is only about 55,000 population. It's more so a military strategic area for the region.
Right. Exactly. And, to give some, let's say, if you can, some logical reasoning behind why this move is being done by the Trump administration. The strategic location of it is important for the soon-to-be implemented, quote-unquote, Golden Dome that Trump wants to install to protect America from missile attack. Yeah. So without that particular area, there would be vulnerabilities to that part of America, like you mentioned, New York in particular, from missile attack.
Well, this will isolate America from the world body.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, we're living in a time where America makes nothing. It's a consumer country that's propped up with the trade in petrol oil. But what happens if all of your buyers no longer buys? See? What happens when those who sell you all your goods no longer sells? This is no different than Iran being isolated at that point. But at least Iran is self-sufficient. They care enough for their people, where the goods and the food and the resources are keeping them afloat. Okay, because at least the Iranians in these other countries, are together within their countries. Can you imagine America being sanctioned from the world bodies? What that means? Now, at first, it's going to seem okay, because it takes sometimes 2 to 3 years to feel the residual effects of some international legislation. So it's going to be running on autopilot until people realize that, guess what? No one's home. This thing is finished. There's no money coming in. There's no resources coming in. There's no companies coming in. And all together is when people are going to realize that every individual in America is on their own. Man, it's going to be The Walking Dead. Tell you that right now. It's going to be anarchy on every level. It's going to be, because sometimes when you're going to look at the centers and all that, the stores we're used to purchasing and all that, and you're going to say, okay, seems like this center been down for about 2-3 months. For a month. But then you're going to realize it's not coming back. It's the same way when you walk through a mall. I remember when malls used to be the thing. This is where
Right.
you meet.
Poppy.
This is where you go. Yeah, everybody's hanging out here. And now it's a graveyard. It's going to be like that everywhere. Everywhere. No Walmart. Think about it. No Target. All the goods come in from overseas. If you break that agreement with NATO, then guess what? China, who make all the goods, isn't going to ship to the stores anymore. Especially, think about this, all the stuff we get for cheap. This guy is talking about putting a 10% tariff on everything coming in, not through China, but through your European people you have aligned with. They like, this guy has lost his mind. This is the linchpin that totally separates America from the Tin Horns. And after that, it's on. America will eventually understand what it means to be living in third world. This existence of America is so much dependent on its alliances with the countries who made her. It's about to get deep. But I tell you what, Chapat, I'm glad we're in the know. Knowing is half the battle, and I'm going to tell you, hearing what the Most High said through the prophets that Babylon the Great would fall, guess what? It don't make me anxious, because understanding it, you can now what? You can prepare, embrace yourself for it, and prepare accordingly. And by the time people figure out what's going on here, because they're going to make it seem like everything is fine, we're going to already be where we need to be, flipping pancakes and chilling. Reading the Bible, praying, and singing when the saints come marching in. By the time the smoke clears, when people, because they're going to keep this thing in autopilot for a while, and then it's just going to stop. And we're looking at everything the whole time. The Most High say, this prophecy is here, we have to be there. Okay, boom. Let's get this. Let's plan. A matter of fact, if they go into Greenland and invade Greenland, automatically we have to talk to our people in New York and say, listen, do not, if you live in any of those big areas near Manhattan, those areas, y'all gonna have to move out of those areas or come into PA or New Jersey, because that's where it's gonna go down. If they don't have protection in the Greenland, then the enemy now can launch from those areas. That's what Greenland is about. They already found a submarine not too long ago. America ended up taking a Russian submarine last week that was in the Greenland area, because they were amongst the borders where America leased. So they've already did that. It wasn't a war, but they took over that particular submarine, no casualties. Well, if they can get something there, then they can launch on New York. Okay? So don't think that we're just sitting on our hands. Folks, we're looking. We're watching. We see what the prophecies say. And when that happens, it's going to be crazy, because this is not going to be a false flag when that happens. Okay? Don't worry about it. You'll know the 10 horns, the 10 European countries. You'll learn about that in this academy. Don't worry about it. It's the 10 European countries, the original 10 of the EU, the countries that are in the EU, the European countries, predominantly. Okay? Well, Shapat, the news was great.
Praises.
We see there's some Edomite spatting going on. It's a fight, and guess what? We been it, we ain't in it. Let Esau and all them take themselves down as the 12 tribes rise, where we will rise from the ashes. The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that he used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.